Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 1 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now, the town of Ayden is asking for public commentary on their 2025 draft land use proposal. The town of Ayden says the public comments on the draft can be submitted between Tuesday and October 2nd. The town's planning board has drafted an update to its plan, which will be a guide for Ayden's growth for the next 5 to 10 years, according to town officials. Now, the draft of the plan can be found online for you to view. A link can be found on our website, WITN.com. Now, the town says a hard copy is also available at the town hall on West Avenue during normal business hours for people to review on their own. Public comments can be submitted via the plan website until October 2nd. You can also submit comments via phone, mail, or email to Jamie Heath at the Mid-East Commission Council of Governments. That contact info is available on the plan website. Now, we also want to highlight, of course, it is football season, and here at WITN we are going to be celebrating Campbell football on our MyTV network. This season, we're going to be getting up with a partnership with Campbell University to broadcast 5 Fighting Camels football games during the 2025 season. Now, these matchups will air on WITN's digital subchannel, MyNetwork-TV, or WITN 7.2. WITN's sister stations, WECT 6.3 Wilmington and WBTV 3.2 Charlotte, will also air the games. This exciting collaboration will bring live coverage of key home games from Barker Lane Stadium directly to viewers across the region. The scheduled broadcasts include the September 13th game, Furman at Campbell, the September 20th game, Bryant at Campbell, and the September 27th game, Western Carolina at Campbell, November 8th, William and Mary at Campbell, and finally November 15th, Elon at Campbell. Now, Ron Hensley, the general manager of WITN, said, quote, "This partnership enhances our commitment to serving the local community with quality sports programming. We're thrilled to showcase Campbell football to our viewers and give fans greater access to these exciting matchups," end quote. Now, the broadcasts will feature full game coverage, including pre-game commentary and in-depth analysis from local sports experts. With Campbell University continuing to grow as a competitive force in the Coastal Athletic Association, these televised games provide fans an excellent opportunity to follow the Fighting Camels on their home turf. Viewers can watch the games on MyNetwork-TV, WITN 7.2, available over the air and on most cable providers throughout eastern North Carolina. Be sure to check your local listings for exact channel placement. Finally, do want to catch up on your weather forecast. Today has been a fairly mild day. We've seen that so far through really the last several weeks here in eastern North Carolina, but we are going to start to see that summer pattern slowly make a gradual comeback to the east over this week, particularly Thursday, Friday, and then by Saturday, we'll see those summertime conditions kind of peak in the low 90s, at least as far as your air temperatures go. Right now, air temperatures throughout eastern North Carolina, save for Swan Quarter and Hyde County, are reading in the mid to upper 70s. Swan Quarter is the lone spot on the map right now, coming in with an 80-degree reading. A northeasterly wind is really the reason why we're really not seeing a whole lot of heat today. We're going to maintain those northeasterly winds coming up again for tomorrow. So tomorrow, again, plan on highs right around the low 80s, essentially where we plan on them being coming up later on this afternoon. Again, I do anticipate most inland areas will be around 79 to about 83 degrees today for your high set at 81. These northeasterly winds coming in at about 7 to 15 miles an hour will keep pushing that humid air down further to the south, and that's going to keep our humidity fairly mild. Right now, dew points in the 50s to low to mid 60s. Very comfortable throughout the east considering the time of year. Now, over the past 24 hours, we have seen that humidity kind of wax and wane a little bit throughout eastern North Carolina. Most of us haven't really noticed a big enough drop or rise in humidity to show you any sort of major change. But those changes, again, are going to be very gradual, and I think it'll become a little bit more pronounced later on this week as we head towards Thursday and Friday. But for now, again, overnight tonight, going to maintain that northeasterly wind flow. Throughout the day tomorrow, those northeasterly winds may try to come in a little bit more out of the east later on today. That is a sign of those winds gradually shifting. And by the time we get into Thursday morning, take a look at that. We've got wind arrows, instead of coming out of the north, they're coming in mostly out of the south-southwest. That is indicative, again, of a frontal system approaching eastern North Carolina, keeping our flow, I would say, variable for this week. As those winds shift, as that front gets closer, we'll see in kind of a fairly noticeable rise in heat as well as humidity. Now, that frontal boundary, it's not the one you're seeing back towards the west across Missouri. That one's actually going to be dying out. It's the one you're seeing back across Wisconsin, Iowa, and the Great Lakes that really has our attention. That one is only going to expand as it works its way closer and closer to the East Coast. For now, I'm anticipating a chance of maybe some storm activity coming in late Saturday evening to Saturday night. But for now, for today and for this afternoon, highs will hold in the low 80s for your max temps. Northeasterly wind at about 7 to 15 miles an hour will gradually relax later on this evening. And then tomorrow, we essentially rinse and repeat, do the same thing all over again, starting out the day in the upper 50s, reaching the low 80s as we head towards lunchtime, and then peaking in the, I would say, around 81, 82, 83 degree mark for tomorrow afternoon. Overall, again, very comfortable conditions. We do want to highlight, though, we do have an area of concern to keep an eye on in the Atlantic. This system, this area of concern, I should say, really just off the coast of Africa, has a high chance of tropical development over the next 7 days. That is a 70% chance. But over the next 48 hours, not seeing that same sort of potential, more of about a 30% chance of tropical development. Now, next name up on the list is Gabriel, and this thing has a long way to go before it gets anywhere close to not only eastern North Carolina, but anywhere close to the U.S. in general. Now, your full 8-day forecast again calls for air temperatures going from the low 80s today and tomorrow into the low 90s by Friday and Saturday. Your overnight lows will also rebound back into the low 70s, creating a little bit more of that humid feeling for the start of the weekend. But that humid feeling will depart throughout the day on Sunday. We'll wake up, it will still feel humid on Sunday, but then through the day, you'll start to feel a little bit more of that drier air trying to push in. Sunday evening is going to be far more comfortable from a humidity standpoint than what we're going to be seeing coming up for Sunday morning. Now, the lower humidity will be present through Monday as well as Tuesday of next week, but Tuesday again featuring another chance of some showers and maybe a few thunderstorms. Well, that's all we have time for today's 1 p.m. News and Weather Update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful day.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by Supreme Choice.